Milwaukee has a rich manufacturing history, built on the backs of several locally owned manufacturing facilities. Today, city leaders are exploring ways to strengthen their manufacturing base and create new jobs with the help of an innovative initiative: Economy, Energy, and Environment, or E3. E3 is a framework through which communities connect local manufacturers with the best technical assistance available through federal, state, and local resources. Each community is supported by a coalition of federal agencies that have joined forces to form E3.
E3 builds on our historical strength in manufacturing in Milwaukee, but it does so in a 21st century manner, and that's why innovation in the E3 program is so important to us, because it really takes firms that are traditional manufacturers like foundries and really propels them into the 21st century in terms of resource efficiency and a new way of doing business.
One Milwaukee-based foundry, family-owned Badger Alloys, is using its E3 experience as a springboard to new technologies. One key project is a sand reclamation system, which will divert more than 17 million pounds of sand from the landfill each year, while providing tangible benefits to the local economy.
The E3 program allowed us to do, we had, like for example, the sand reclamation system had kind of been on the back burner for a while. And a lot of it was, you know, when the economy went south a couple of years ago, we got very hesitant and we're not really willing to commit the financial resources. We sat down and did the lean and clean, and then that kind of opened us up to really analyzing the entire facility, not just the sand reclamation system. The overall spend on this is about $2 million. And out of that $2 million, about 35% of that will be directly to Milwaukee-based companies.
At a nearby screen printing and embroidery business, Visual Impressions, the E3 team identified 10 projects during the facility-wide review. Many of these projects focus on increasing energy efficiency, but the benefits of E3 reach beyond just energy savings.
We have a sustainability program here at Visual Impressions, and the E3 program really dovetails nicely into the program because our big goal this year is to reduce our energy consumption by 20%. If we can have success with sustainability, that's going to allow us to be more competitive, and we'll be able to be a better business, a better, stronger business in this crazy economy we're in. One of the great things about Milwaukee is their slogan, "We're open for business."
The E3 program in Milwaukee, called ME3, complements another Wisconsin initiative called the Profitable Sustainability Initiative, or PSI, which is a statewide sustainability effort. By merging the tools and resources of these two programs, Milwaukee companies are optimizing their sustainable growth efforts and are achieving notable annual returns on their investments.
For all of the programs in Wisconsin, PSI, ME3, we've seen significant financial and environmental impact. On the financial side, obviously the investments made, companies have invested $6 million in capital improvements. They've also saved a little bit more than $6 million in those improvements, which have led to an average payback of 12 months. We've created jobs. There's 43 jobs created as a result of these programs, 27 million annually in new sales as a result of these programs. On the environmental side, over 4 million kilowatt hours of energy, electricity have been saved. 9,000 tons of solid waste have been removed from landfills. 26 tons of hazardous materials have been removed from the production process. And we've also reduced transportation mileage, truck traffic, saving 51,000 gallons of diesel fuel and the associated emissions.
With results like these and the support of E3, Milwaukee remains true to its roots and looks forward to ushering in a new vision for urban manufacturing.
We've really been refocusing on manufacturing, not only as an economic development issue to bring those jobs back, but to also help strengthen our community, because manufacturing literally built the city, built the institutions. And so E3 is just another tool that we're using in our manufacturing toolbox to get back to that historical strength of manufacturing, but to do it in a 21st century manner.
For more information about E3, please visit www.e3.gov.